So here's my comparison of the new Ultimate Plus compared to the old Ultimate pedals. As you can see, the pedal faces are slightly taller, the holes are wider. These are the new controller boxes. Now it's a metal or rust-free steel folded box. Sadly, somebody soldered my clutch connector on crooked. I'll probably be mailing them about that. But let's have a look at the set. There are new sleeve bearings. They're also already there on very late revisions of the old Ultimate set. So if you have an old set, it's possible you already have that bearing. But my set didn't have that yet. So that's an upgrade if you don't have that yet. The springs are now coated. There always was a problem of the spring rubbing on the side if you don't have it turned correctly. If you totally compress it, yeah, this one is not bolted down, so I can't really do that at the moment. But this one is. Let's get the angle correct. You can see it. It still rubs, so they haven't really fixed it. I would have loved to have seen a few millimeters more, so it can't happen. But if you turn the spring correctly, I hope it's correct now, you can see it compresses. Okay, and you have space, but you have to keep in mind that your spring is turned the correct way so it doesn't rub. Otherwise you might be ruining the coating. And on the old one you got a nice squeak. So that's still a thing you have to keep in mind. The dampers are upgraded or slightly different, I don't know, at least they look different. The manufacturing might be different, so we'll see that in the driving test. So here's the brake assembly. It's also changed. The rubbers are a bit thicker, no more metal spacers or rings. It's probably nice and it's not gonna rub against the metal anymore. I already fixed my own pedal set. I put some Loctite on the nut so it can't go loose, otherwise you could lose pre-tension. And then it was easy for it to flip out of there and you lose your whole brake assembly. But as long as you have enough pressure on the preload, it should stay in. But also a thing I don't get is why they use such a narrow thing to hold it. It's like barely a millimeter, and that's still the same. Another thing I noticed, also saw on the press pics, why is the rod that's inside there, where the dampers slide on, it's barely coming out here. It really makes me worry of it popping out. I hope I can turn it loose inside of this thing that holds the thread and maybe move it a few millimeters so I've got it sticking out. But yeah, it really looks wonky that they did that. That's the things that stand out to me when I just take my first look at it. It's nice to see like a double nut here now, so you can lock the hand washer. You can turn, so you don't lose the preload on this. The preload spring, yeah, maybe it's thicker, maybe it's not, but it's also coated. So yeah, I'm really looking forward. I'm gonna try it in a few seconds and see how the new brake assembly feels. Also, a thing that really stands out to me, on one side you see they use another ring, and on the other side they don't. Is it on purpose or did they forget one? I think it's on purpose, because the spacing wasn't perfectly filled up with rings, so they used another one there. But yeah, that's my first impressions and comparison. I'm gonna give you a few more moments with the set, so you can have a look. The upgrade is not too big, but not many changes, but a small few upgrades.